Alright, so it's Friday. Let's pin my reticulated python against all my ball pythons. What's up, YouTube? It's Baker. Welcome back to Blue Line Morphs. New to the channel, please subscribe, hit the notification bell, give me a thumbs up. We are a new ball python breeding channel. We're really new. We're a reptile enthusiast who made the transition into breeding. Now I'm making the transition from my first season into my second season. So I post every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. And I have an Instagram channel, blue_line_morphs, and a Facebook page, Blue Line Morphs. Definitely follow me and hit me up on my Instagram channel. I'm always going to answer back, always going to correspond with that. I'm on there daily, obviously like a loser, but it is what it is. I love talking to everybody. If you're turning back to the channel, welcome back, guys. Today's a retake video, but before we get to that, let's do a little update. I got a question for you guys. You guys have seen this guy a million times, right? This is that powerhouse pied male that I picked up from Ozzy. He's gorgeous. He's sitting at 250 grams right now. Okay, he's about 2 months old, 245, 48 grams. My goal is to possibly breed him this year, late season. So I'm thinking maybe after January, beginning of February, give or take. Hopefully I can have him at that 500 gram mark. Be about about 6 months old, give or take, maybe 7 months old. Will he be ready? Comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. He's a really good eater. He's been eating twice a week with crawlers, so I'm really happy about that. No signs of slowing down. Doesn't look overweight. Not rushing it. Looks great. Great temperament, etc., etc. So I'm hoping he'll be ready this season. What do you guys think? As far as rodents, quick little update with that. Everyone seemed to really like that I'm including the rodents into this because I am just beginning to breed them. So you're going to see my mistakes, which obviously you saw with my African software rats eating each other, right? The first ever colony, just the one vampire ate, wiped them all out. And now my second colony, but like the first colony actually bred. I had their first litter growing up to be a second colony. They ate the third, they ate the second, they ate the third litter. Now they actually have a fourth litter in there. And they've been raising them up. They're not neglecting them. They haven't eaten them yet, so that's a plus. So I think that dog food is really doing the trick. So if you're going to start breeding the ASFs, yeah, of course have the regular, rat food, the Missouri or whatever, but definitely add some other source of protein or fat and stuff like that in there. I've been throwing like carrots in there every once in a while. People said it works. So far, so good, guys. We're doing good. I think next week I'm probably going to try to pick up a female, start breeding to this boy. He's about this big. I would take him out right now. I'm going to handle my retic, and that seems like a really bad idea. All right, let's get into today's video. So today's video is not going to be about taking care of a retic, right? It's not going to be about the temperature, the husbandry, where they're from, and so forth and so on. That is not what this video is about, guys. I'm going to get into stuff like that if you guys want. Comment down below if you want me to get into how I keep my retics, so forth and so on. But I'm not going to do that in this video. This video is just going to be about my experience with the retics so far and what the difference is that I've seen. Obviously, it's a huge difference, but what the difference I've seen between my ball pythons to my reticulated python, okay? That comes to like temperament, the cage aggression, feeding, handling, stuff like that. Plus, I'm going to tell you a couple stories about people noticing a clear difference between them that have no idea of anything about snakes, but they know right away there's something off here. First and foremost, I love my ball pythons. Anything I say in this video is not a knock on ball pythons at all. But let's face it, just like my last video on Wednesday says, one of the main reasons why I want to breed them is they are super relaxed, tame, and chill. You see Big Mama yesterday just hangs out, 2 days ago, just hangs out on my neck and doesn't really do much of anything. Very chill, relaxed snakes. They might pop their head out of the tub every once in a while, but for the most part, they're chill and they want to be left alone. They're not really paying attention to you. You don't bother them. They won't bother you. Right? Well, let me go grab Lilith. Yeah, Lilith, the first ever demon, Satan's girlfriend. That's what I called her for obvious reason, which you're going to learn. Let me go grab her. Here she is. Here is my purple albino reticulated python. She's about, I think she's about 9-10 months old. 7 or 8 feet. Let me just get back up, you can really see her. She's about 7 or 8 feet long right now. She's getting a little thick. I can still grab her with one hand, but here she is. Look how gorgeous this snake is, guys. Okay. Come on. So I see that color. How I go past the camera here. Absolute gorgeous purple albino. Relatively inexpensive. Not an expensive morph. I know yesterday, last day's videos, I was talking about how reticulated pythons are kind of catching up to ball pythons with the different morphs. As gorgeous as the snake is, not expensive. If you guys are in the tri-state area and you want a reticulated python, hit me up on Instagram. I'll let you know where I got her from. Guy's cool as can be. Has some crazy stuff over there, some giant snakes. But here's Lilith. I think she's absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so first and foremost, reticulated pythons we know get much bigger than ball pythons. Okay, this girl right here is 9, 10 months old. She's 8 feet long, super lanky right now. Obviously, she's gonna thicken up. Much bigger head, right? You can just check her out. Here she is. Now I know as a female, what is she gonna be? 20, 25 feet and weigh in, close to 200 pounds, maybe over 200 pounds. Let's talk about some of these differences. I'm gonna cover things. Let's talk about feeding. First and foremost, this thing eats everything it comes in contact with. Okay. I can always count on her to be my garbage disposal. Like, you guys know I have a boa. I'll introduce the boa to you another time. But when it comes to feeding the ball pythons, we know that, they can be picky at times, right? Sometimes a girl will be hammering rats for you all the time. Then next thing you know, they're no longer eating. When it comes to the retic, never missed a meal, not once, not ever. In fact, I can always kind of count on her to take down 2 or 3 rats a week if I want to. I was feeding her 1 time a week, 1 large rat. And then I spoke to a few people that keep the reticulated pythons, and then you can feed her more than that. Feed her 2 large rats a week, or I feed her 2 large rats together, like on Saturday. Let her take 1 down, hang out, then she takes another 1 down. No problem whatsoever. Like I said, any leftover food for my ball python, she gladly takes it down. Let's get into 2 things I really want to talk about when it comes to the reticulated python. The first thing is how aware she is. I've had her out for about 20 minutes now. I'll be honest with you, I took a 10-minute video talking about it. I was stumbling all over my words. It was kind of embarrassing, so I deleted it and started over. So she's relatively calm now, at least for her. Now, yesterday's video, what's up, honey? Yesterday's video, I was talking about, 2 days ago's video, I was talking about how ball pythons are kind of like the movie python, right? The TV python. You can put them around your neck, and they're just going to kind of hang out and relax with you. Now, I know she's relaxed right now, but for the most part, she's constantly moving, constantly going. In other words, when I have the reticulated python out, this is what I'm doing. Like, sometimes I'll take Big Mama out, I'll put her on my neck, I'll be on the computer editing things. Not that I edit a lot, so what I mean is splicing things, or just hanging out and relaxing. I like to take my snakes out. It kind of is what it is. But I can do other things while I have the ball pythons out. When I have Lilith out, that's what I'm doing, okay? When I have the reticulated python out, that's all I'm doing. I'm paying attention to her. I have to pay attention to her. She's constantly moving around. She's constantly wanting to go. She wants to, curl around things. She wants to, her tongue's always flicking. Very active, very aware of what's going on. So let's transition to that. The biggest thing that I've noticed with reticulated pythons is how aware they are. This is what I mean. When it comes to ball pythons, I'm not knocking them at all. You know I love them. That is my forte. That's what I love, right? They're very docile, which is a great thing. They're very calm. They're kind of unaware of you. They don't really care. Okay, if you're in a glass tank, they might come out. Some come out and check you out a little bit. But for the most part, they're kind of like, you leave me alone, I'm going to leave you alone, right? I have a few open that tub up, they'll come out and hang out. But for the most part, they'll just kind of look and go back to what they were doing, or they'll kind of take their head back and they'll sink in and they won't be left alone. That is not the case with her. This snake is very aware of what's going on. She's very aware of where she is, very aware of what her tank is, and she's very aware of what you're doing. A couple stories about that. If I go over to her tank, and just now I went to grab her, she was all coiled up and she was like sleeping, and as soon as she noticed me right away, she came up, she was aware of me, started coming over to the entrance of the terrarium. It's about 4.5 feet long, it's about this long, and the one side slides this way. She knows this. Now, some of you are going to say it's a feeding response. No, because when she's going to eat, she acts completely different. When she knows I'm coming to get her, when she knows I'm coming over to the tank and she doesn't see a rat, doesn't smell a rat, as soon as I touch that terrarium and slide it open, she's coming out. She's very aware of what I'm doing. Now, conversely, if I go over and I just stand near the tank and look at her, she doesn't budge, she just kind of looks at me. But once she sees me go anywhere near that glass, as soon as my hand moves, she starts coming. Okay? Could just be like kind of like trained to do that because like feeding response are getting taken out. I get that, but that's not what's happening here. And this is why I believe that. My last live, somebody had mentioned that, are they very aware of you when you come into the room? The answer is yes. When I walk into my house, she comes up and she's aware that something just moved. She's aware somebody came in that house. And she's not aware, like, in the sense of, like, another ball python where, like, oh, something moved and they shy away. She's looking. She's actively looking for me. She's watching what I'm doing. And it's almost creepy because her eyes follow you. Okay? Now, ball pythons may be aware of you, but for the most, her eye, you'll watch her eye actually move with you as you move through the room. Okay? You'll watch her head move with you as you move through the room. If you go and you sit down on my sectional and you're over near her, you'll be on your phone chilling, you'll be watching TV, bullshit, whatever you're doing. All of a sudden you look, and she'll be staring right at you. She comes up, and she's right in the terrarium, and she's checking you out, and she's seeing what you're doing. And now, as weird as this sounds, there's more behind her eyes than a ball python. What I mean is, when she's looking, even now, when she's looking at you, she's looking at you. She's thinking. She's contemplating. She's very aware that you're there, and she's almost has other motives. In other words, it's not a feeding response. It's not, oh, something moved, light, dark, whatever. Hand. Like, she's not afraid of my hand. She don't give a shit. But she's very aware, and she contemplates what she's doing and what she's thinking. Two quick stories. Very different, okay? I was dating a girl. She had, relax. I trust her, but not as much like Big Mama. I can grab her. Like, that's pretty good for a retic. I do try to handle her a lot because once she's full grown, I want to be able to handle her a lot. But she's okay. But every once in a while, she gives me that look back, and I'm like, yeah, okay, let's push your head back this way. I'm not playing that game, not in the face. I've been tagged by her a couple times, and I will say this. The ball pythons, if you know, a full-size ball python is just more or less a little worse than a tattoo, nothing crazy. Her, a little more painful, a little more power behind it, a little more shitty. I mean, it's really that simple. 2 week stories. I was dating a girl, and she hated snakes. She didn't like much of anything to begin with, but she hated snakes. And at the time, I had all my ball pythons in my living room, and she was in a terrarium like a typical redneck on top of my kitchen table. We had gotten a discussion about the snakes, and I was opening up some of the tubs of the ball pythons to kind of show them off. She was looking at them. She was okay with them from a distance. She's looking. She's like, okay, cool. Oh, that one's cool looking. Whatever. Cool. Then I'm like, oh, check out this other snake, this other ball python I had. And I took her over to, oh, you better not pee on me. She loves peeing on me. I took her over to Lilith's, is that how you say that? I don't know. I took her over to the Retic's terrarium. And she instantly knew. She never was a reptile person. It's wrapped around my gun. Never a reptile person, never a snake person. But from looking at ball pythons, in that quick couple seconds looking at 5 or 6 ball pythons and going over to her terrarium, she instantly knew that this was not the same thing. Now, yes, I understand it looks different, and to us reptile keepers, we automatically look at the head and the body, and we know it's a different snake. But that's not why she said that. She didn't say that because it looks different, or the head is different, or it's clearly a different species. She said it's different because of the way it was behaving. She instantly recognized that this snake was much more aware, much more acute, and much more, I don't want to say sinister, but much more like creepily watching you, contemplating you. And that's the biggest thing I took away from Retics opposed to my ball pythons. Again, I had people, I think I mentioned it before, I had people ask me, oh, they aware you come into the room? Very aware. She knows what's going on. So I thought that was really interesting that somebody who knew nothing about snakes made a clear distinction between reticulated pythons, you're going to pee, I know you are, reticulated pythons and ball pythons. With that being said, one of my best friends is my tenant downstairs. And he's been here for the whole oh, you better not do it. She does it. I'll be so mad. He's been here for the whole process, right? He'll walk into the reptile room, he'll grab Luna, he'll grab Big Mama, no problem whatsoever, and handle them. But when she comes out, when Lilith comes out, he wants nothing to do with her. There just is a difference between them. Definitely in temperament, definitely in just overall awareness. I can't push that enough. That this snake is very aware of what's going on and is very more inquisitive and curious about everything going on. So yeah, guys, this is Lilith. Quick little video, quick little story about her. I think she's great. I think she's awesome. If you guys want me to do more videos on Lilith, definitely let me know. Comment down below. I'll try to do more videos with her. I'll start including her in more videos. But here is my reticulated ball python, guys. Here's my reticulated python, guys. Alright, guys. So I hope you enjoyed meeting Lilith real quickly. Again, this video was just kind of show her off. Really talk about the temperament difference between them, the feeding, the responses, stuff like that. Give a couple stories about how people viewed the retake so far. I wanted to put away real quick because she did have 2 large rats about 4 days ago. She's starting to get that bump at the bottom of her tail, which means she's about to let it rip. And I don't want that to happen because, believe it or not, even though she's not that big of a reticulated python, it makes a big mess. Again, definitely comment down below if you want to see more of the retake. If you want to see more of my tortoise in my backyard coming inside, I'm going to pick up a nice little enclosure for her for my reptile room. Comment down below if you want me to start including the tortoise and the other snakes into my channel on my social media platforms. So far, it's been all about ball pythons, but I can definitely start including them more in it. But you got to meet Lilith. I'll do some more videos on her just here and there. If you want them, let me know. Hope you enjoyed it. That's what I noticed about retics so far against ball pythons. Completely different type of snake. Everything about them from look down to especially temperament. Definitely being aware of what's going on. It's really impressive to me. There's definitely more behind the eyes, definitely more to the snake than a ball python, even though I love my ball pythons. The retics just seem to be contemplating life a little more than ball pythons. Other than that, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Have a good, safe, healthy weekend. As always, guys, be safe. Please remember, watch your 6.